Alright, welcome to another episode of March Mad Hot Air Plays Outer Wilds. And as per usual, first thing that I'd like to do is check our log and see what it has to say about the mining site and the Ash Twin project, and see if my interpretation is anything close to correct. No Mai mines and a massive Ash Twin project. The Nomai mined ore from this site to craft a protective shell designed to physically seal off the central chamber inside Ash Twin. Once the shell was finished, the Nomai checked to ensure there were no longer any physical entrances or cracks. Okay. And then the Ash Twin project. The central chamber inside Ash Twin was physically sealed off by an immensely thick protective shell. Right. Okay. Now, here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if, in order, because they're pretty much making it very clear that there's no physical way to get into this shell, right? So it's going to be difficult to get in. We can get in there through projection stones, but not through any like conventional means. But I'm wondering if the way we get in there is by figuring out a way to descend to the core of the Ember Twin, and then using quantum physics to warp into, or just like a warp tower for that matter. But it probably would make more sense to use the quantum object that I suspect is oscillating between the cores of the two bodies, or I guess the quantum black hole or something like that. Although, you know, the more I think about it, I'm not really sure how much the original idea I had there makes much sense. But it is possible that we have to get into the Ash Twin by like following the black hole, either through warp or through quantum shenanigans from the core of the Ember Twin to the core of the Ash Twin. The only other alternative would be to the other. Okay, I have two different thoughts that I want to try out here. Okay, first is there's another way in. We could get it through a warp, but there's no way we could warp into the Ash Twin from the Ash Twin, right? So there's got to be another warp tower somewhere else within the solar system that would allow us to get into the Ash Twin. We know there's one on the White Hole Station, but I believe that one is explicitly stated to go to Brittle Hollow. So my guess is somewhere else in the solar system, there's a warp tower that leads into Ash Twin's core. The second thing is I want to check out what we're missing from this perspective. And I know I always mess up the interface here, but I think this is how I actually check this out, from this direction, just to see what we're missing from a location perspective. So on Ember Twin, we need to continue to explore Sunless City. We still haven't been to the High Energy Lab. Large solar panels on Ember Twin's equator, and only accessed by path from the Sunless City. I believe I remember a marker somewhere in the Sunless City actually mentioning the High Energy Lab, but we just haven't had a chance to go there yet. And once again, since time isn't paused right now, we also will not be going there this loop. Although I do have to remember to head back there at the beginning of loops, when we don't have anything to see on our ship's log. Ash Twin. The Ash Twin project, of course, is a big question mark. Of course, we have this sun station, which is definitely what that is, because it's being labeled that explicitly by our ship log. This structure that's orbiting the sun. The Nomai debated, So I think the question mark is just saying that we haven't been there yet. I'm wondering if it'll tell us if there's anything else in the area we haven't seen. I feel like there's definitely stuff on... Well, I'm not sure if there's anything we haven't seen on Timberhearth at this point, actually, now that we've actually seen the platform that we saw from the moon, I think, and I don't know of anything obvious that we would be missing here. And then the Addle Rock, also nothing obvious that I can think of that we're missing. We haven't been to Brittle Hollow at all. Hollow's Lantern isn't even... Yeah, no discoveries at all yet. We have entries for Brittle Hollow, and all of them are big question marks. But we haven't been there, other than to like fall into the black hole at the core of it. Of course, Quantum Moon is a big question mark. Giant's Deep, Gabbro. We still haven't found Gabbro yet. I remember that was like one of the first things, one of the first breadcrumbs we could have followed, and we still have not followed it. I'm very glad that this system is keeping track for me of all the different breadcrumbs we have not yet seen. Orbital probe cannon. Apparently, we haven't seen everything here either. There's still question marks in the control module and the launch module. But we've been to both of these. So I'm not sure why these are question marks on it. One of them was just completely inaccessible. Yeah, there's a huge breach in the glass viewport. So I'm not sure what it wants from us there. The vessel, of course, we still have to check out. There still seems to be a lot of space and a lot of areas that we still haven't seen yet. The white hole, still more to explore here. Yeah, so we, I feel, still have a good ways to go. I wonder if maybe we're halfway done at this point. Not sure. I do know that this trip we are headed back to the Ash Twin. Now, I know that we've spent a lot of time recently going to the Ash Twin without actually making a whole lot of progress there, but... right there. And actually managed to target the right one this time. If I could hold on to my train of thought for a moment while also piloting. We haven't actually seen any of the warp towers except for one. There's only been one warp tower that we've actually used. This one, the one that I'm pointing at right now, although I'm not actually sure if you can see this cursor on the video. This one with the pointy shapes on it. We can't actually access the warp platform. These ones, or at least one of them, doesn't seem to work. I could always try the other, I suppose. And then there's this one, which we know leads home. So I think what we're going to have to do is find where it is now, and then right there, so hop out. So we'll have the maximum time before we have to worry about the sand. And just see where some of these go. I think I'm not sure if it was ever established how many towers there are, but I want to say there's like 5 or 6. So we're on the other side of this tower. So there's this pointy tower, the one with the pointy edge around the top. There's the double tower next. Then there's the one for Timberhearth. And then there's this one. There may be... I feel like there's at least one more, but I do not know about that for sure. Nothing comes to mind. And which one is this? Have we been to this one? I don't think we've been to that one either. But that one's going to be hit by the sand. More... before this one will be. So at least 5 then. And it might be that we have to just redo this anyway. Although possibly not, if we manage to make this work beforehand. And I don't know where it's going to end up taking us either. Hopefully not to the sun. It could take us to the sun station. Although it isn't going to. And that's right. We were actually in this tower, if I'm not mistaken, when we determined that we didn't have to worry. Giant's Deep. Welcome to Giant's Deep, friends. I'm excited for you to meet the statues. If I'm not in my dwelling, I'm likely in my workshop below, inside the island. The same thing, departure and arrival time. Charge, step onto the warp receiver to activate or return warp. Is this anywhere that we have been already? Oh! Okay, well, let's just... Okay, let's warp back before we die. If we can. Alright. And step off of that. Okay, I don't know where the sand is at this point. Let's just hop over this. And then take a moment to relax and catch our bearings, because... Okay, we were just somewhere on Giant's Deep before getting thrown into space, and I think that might have been a completely new island. It's nice to know that we can access the islands from Giant's Deep from that location. Now, I remember... Which one was it? I think it was... Yeah, this is the one that didn't work. And this one's just busted up. We could try it, I guess. Okay, so we have... Now, we have demonstrated that we have a warp that goes to Giant's Deep and one that goes to Timberhearth. And I feel that makes sense. But I'm not sure where these other ones go. Be interesting if one of these actually takes me to the interloper. And I have to get out of here just because I don't have any protection from the sand. So, where is my ship? My ship is over here. Let me head over there real quick because I need oxygen. And then we can figure out what to do from there. Possibly just head back to Giant's Deep and figure out what's going on that planet. Let's refuel the jetpack. Do we have anything new? Nothing new on the log. Okay. You know, this looks a little bit like a tornado. And I think this is the one that goes to Giant's Deep, right? Maybe not. Maybe I was looking at a different one. Yeah, this is the one that goes to Giant's Deep. Does this one... I wonder if this one goes to the sun station. Because we've seen this symbol, the symbol at the top, applied to the sun, right? Which would mean these two go to the twins, although that doesn't make sense. Would you stop flying? This thing really can get out of hand sometimes. Okay. I was gonna say these things, that would mean these two would go to the Ash and the Ember Twin. That would make sense if we're doing the Ember Twin. Actually, I could check that, because I think it was the sand that drove me out of this one the last time. Let's see if I... No, maybe not. Oh! Oh! I was right! I was right! Where am I? Let's make sure there's nothing different here. Charged. Okay, I think we've seen this thing before. Okay. So this does lead to the Ember Twin, which... How would this... Like, the implication would be that this one leads to the Ash Twin, which is where we're at. The only other place of interest would be in the core, but that's below us. Hear me out. Hear me out. What if... What if when the sand is tugging us upward, which it would be because there's no roof on this, what if when the sand is tugging us upward, the core is above us, right? Because it's gravity pulling us. When the sand is pulling us down toward the Ember Twin, the core of the Ash Twin is above us. How am I gonna keep myself in place though? Would I be able to just fit in here? And then wait until the sand pulls everything up? Okay, this is gonna be risky. Oh! I was dead right! I was dead right! Oh, that's satisfying. Okay. It's much better lit, too, in real life. we gotta check this out. I hear the like tone telling me that it's almost done. Okay, too close to target. Let's back up. 20 minutes 51 seconds ago. Received data from previous cycles. Mass receiving data from probe tracking module, giant steep memory statue, and timber hearth memory statue. 1 minute until end of cycle transmission. Okay. I am so satisfied that I ended up being right about this. A lot of information. I'm wondering if we should just come back here next time. I feel like just making it this far is something worth celebrating. This is inside the core of Ash Twin. Oh, and it's pulling, it looks like it's pulling energy or data from the outsides. I'm guessing that's what the solar panels / dish network is near the poles. Now, something happens at the end of the loop. That is what happens at the end of the loop. That's definitely a black hole. That is definitely a black hole. Okay. What the hell is going on? Okay, this is gonna be intriguing, but it's gonna have to wait for the next video. Yeah, this thing is definitely doing something interesting. Although, you know, well, I suppose it does make kind of sense. I was gonna say, why does one warp you to the Ember Twin when it's... Like, which direction is down, I guess, is the question that I'm asking myself. Because it's one direction when I'm warping to Ember Twin, and then it's in the other direction when I'm warping to Ash. For some reason, down depends on whether or not I have a roof over my head. In any case, that is going to be the end of the video. And we'll see you next time.